Well, it definitely wasn't the most exciting fight in the world, but Junior Dos Santos back in the win column at UFC Fight Night 133 on Saturday. He defeats Blagoy Ivanov by unanimous decision, 50-45 scorecards across the board for JDS, and kind of puts him back in the mix in the heavyweight division, but not emphatic by any measure. He kind of just took his time out there, picked his shots, and I think really this is the Junior Dos Santos we're going to have to come to getting used to at this point. It was a similar fight to his most recent win over Ben Rothwell not that long ago, except a little less aggression, a little less harder shots over the course of those 5 rounds, but either way, JDS pretty much cruised throughout this fight, and for him, just a very key victory coming off the long layoff, the whole USADA situation, losing Stipe Miocic in the title fight last time around. So for him, a very critical victory, even if it wasn't fight of the night type material. For JDS going forward, again, we're in a very thin heavyweight division, so for someone like him in this position, a win is really all you need to be in the mix in this weight class. Doesn't matter how impressive it is. So he's right back up there, a long layoff again, and he called for a trilogy fight with Stipe Miocic, who of course he lost to in his last fight, but holds a victory over a few years ago, and they could do that rubber match, that trilogy, of course, but not too appealing. I don't see anyone jumping off the board really wanting to see that fight too desperately, and I'm not one of those people either. I think there's other matchups for JDS at this point going forward, and I'd like to see them do the Francis Ngannou fight that was supposed to happen last year, September, on the Edmonton card, and then that whole JDS situation with USADA came around. He was pulled from the card. Francis Ngannou ended up getting moved to a different card, knocked out Alistair Overeem, then we kind of went from there. So I'd like to see them put that fight back together. Yes, Francis Ngannou does not have a lot of clout or excitement around him right now after that disappointing fight with Derek Lewis at UFC 226, but he is still a big name in this division. They could easily do this fight as the main event of one of their many UFC Fight Night headliners coming up over the final half of the year. So I think that's the fight that makes sense right now. JDS will, I think, go after Ngannou a little more. He'll, I think, show that cautious approach once again and not put himself out there too much. But Francis Ngannou, that's the chance to get him right back on track after, of course, that very disappointing fight with Derek Lewis. So I think right now, after JDS's performance against Ivanov, that's the fight to make. Francis Ngannou, make it a main event for one of these Fight Night cards coming up, and the winner of that fight, a very relevant guy in terms of the heavyweight title picture.